Today we are talking about budget-friendly ways to make your home French country. So I did an entire decor video. If that's something else you're looking for, I'll put it here. But in this video specifically, I'm going to be speaking about transformative ideas that you can implement into your home to be an ode to French country. Let's talk about what French country is, in case you don't know. This style originated in the more rural regions and towns of provincial France during the 17th and 18th centuries. Due to the economical and cultural situation of the time, the style balances luxurious characteristics with rural, simplistic designs. To decorate in the French country style, you will want to use rustic elements inspired by the Parisian high class of the French royalty, floral patterns, toile patterns, ornate details and carved motifs, natural materials and fabrics and colors in beige, whites, creams, gold, bronze, earthy brown, soft green, soft blues, materials such as stone, wood, and clay, and fabrics like linen and cotton. So now that you have a little background of what French country is, let's talk about the ideas. And I did put everything into categories, so if you're curious, you can click in the chapters below to skip around, or you can just stick around for the whole thing. Won't be mad if you stay, won't be mad. The first thing we're going to talk about is interior changes. I didn't really know exactly what to call this, but that's just what I'm calling it, so here we go. Interior changes. So the first thing for interior changes is a DIY wood beam or exposed wood beams. So I will attach a few links below for two different ways to do this. There are two different ways you can go about doing this. The first way is the cheapest way, and you can do it with foam. I saw this in a Rachel Maxey video and it turned out incredibly. In my personal opinion, I thought it turned out great. Such a good DIY, very affordable, and I actually know someone that's done this in their home and it looks incredible. If you're on a budget and you want those exposed wood beams to give you that cottage feel, this is such a good idea. I really want to do this eventually because I just love the way exposed beams. Wait, maybe I should do it in this room. I didn't even think about that, but that might be a really good idea. Hold up. Maybe I'll do this in the future. Hands down, this probably has to be the best affordable, transformative idea there is on this list, just because it can truly make your interior look like the inside of a cottage. So that's why this is number one. And the second idea is checkered board tiles. So when I talk about checkered board tiles, I'm not talking about the types of tiles you would see in a 1950s home. I'm talking about almost like a stone tile, like a gray wash stone checkered board tile, like this. I can only explain it by showing it because there is a specific look to them. It's not 1950s, it's not 1920s. This would be such a great tile in an entryway or maybe even a kitchen. And there are also different colors that you could go for. You could go for a light gray and white checkered board tile. Now, when I say checkered board tile, I'm not saying go out and buy stone. I'm saying go out and get the peel and stick checkered board tiles. Yes, you can buy these and they actually look really good. I've seen many videos of people doing DIYs where they do this in their homes, and wow, it just really transforms the space in such a big way, and it doesn't cost that much. But it is 100% transformative, right up there with those exposed wood beams. So it's not super expensive, but it makes a big difference in a home. Now, those are the only two ideas I have on interior changes. I do have more DIYs on this list, but they're under different categories. So the next category is furniture. So when it comes to furniture in French country, you are going to see a lot of white furniture that looks aged. It could be aged purposefully or actually aged. But the good thing about this being a thing is that you can 100% do this yourself to a piece of furniture you currently own or something you have thrifted. If you have a piece of furniture that's super dark and you really want to go for a big change and have a more French country inspired home, you could easily just buy some chalk paint and brush it on, leaving some of those aged marks on there, and voila, you have a brand new piece of furniture to spruce up your home. And with that, you can also Mod Podge some designs on there, some floral designs, some ornate designs that you have either printed from a newspaper, a magazine, or napkins. and you just Mod Podge it onto a piece of furniture like this. Makes such a huge difference. And if you mix that with doing the aged painting, it's just a whole new piece of furniture, and it's perfect for French country. One of the main styles of chairs you will commonly see in French country interior design is Louis XVI chairs. And you can easily find an older chair that has a similar shape or has that exact shape that may not necessarily be, you know, Louis XVI. You get what I mean. So although I am putting this on the list, I don't want you to think that you have to buy an actual historical piece of furniture in order to obtain this, because you do not. And also, when you are looking for these older pieces of furniture, I highly recommend checking out estate sales in your area. Do not be afraid to go to them. They are so much fun. It's way better than any thrift store you will visit, I promise. And also look on places like Offerup, Facebook Marketplace, and of course, your local thrift store. The next idea is by getting a metal bistro set and not just using it outside, using it in your home. This is the perfect addition to make your home French country. I actually, when I moved into my house in Utah, I looked at getting this bistro set for the inside of my home to put in my kitchen. I just thought it looked so cool. Why have them in your garden? I just thought it was so pretty, and I was like, why would I put this outside and barely use it when I could sit on it every day? It's just the prettiest thing. So this is a really good French country item to bring into your home that you're gonna get a lot of use out of. People are gonna notice it when they walk in your home. It is very transformative in my opinion, because it really changes the mood of a whole dining room. And I'm talking fast, and it's not super expensive. I think they cost probably a little bit over $100. We have to remember it's also kind of like a 2-in-1, because technically you could use it outside too. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Another idea for a bistro table set would be a wrought iron one. You can actually find these in a bigger size as well, but IKEA even carries these, and they're very cute. They're compact, and a lot of them, the chairs fold up, which is super nice, especially if you are low on space. And the last idea on my furniture list is by adding cafe curtains around your sink, or adding them to a lower cabinet in your kitchen that doesn't have a door on it. This looks very transformative. It's very inexpensive to do this. And when you walk into a room, it's something you will notice, because it's something you just don't see often. You could look for prints such as toile, gingham, stripes, and florals. Next, we are going to talk about lighting. Lighting is very transformative, and it really can make or break a space. And in this interior design, oh my gosh, the lighting is so specific. So let's talk about it. The first idea for lighting is something that you will commonly see in French interiors, and that is chandeliers. But not just a chandelier how you would normally see it, you know, hanging in a living room. No. You gotta get a little more creative than that. My favorite thing that I've seen is chandeliers as pendant lights. The best decision ever. I think it looks so cool and very unique in a home. But besides that, you can also look for wall sconces that are chandeliers as well. The next idea for lighting would be ornate wall sconces if you don't want to go the chandelier route, or lots of candelabras, all in gold, all with ornate detailing, or you could even go for crystal as well. And the last idea for the lighting is to switch out your current lampshades and switch them to a lampshade that is made of rattan or wicker. For some reason, this is a lampshade and a material I commonly see in French country. I really don't know why, but I see it in photos a lot. I don't know why. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why. Next, we are going to talk about windows. So for windows, I only have 2 things on this list. The first one is by putting shutters on the inside of your window, framing it. This is something that you would normally see on a French cottage on the outside, on the exterior of the building. Don't think that just because that's something you see outside doesn't mean you can't do it inside as well. If anything, you 100% can, and it looks really cool because it is something you normally see outside and you're bringing it indoors. I don't know, I think it's unique. It's also a really easy way to add a pop of color, just framing your windows, and you can even go with a more neutral if you didn't want to do a pop of color. I'm just saying, it's a good way. It's a good way. And regarding window treatments, if you were wanting a change, I would say getting drapes in toile, gingham, or stripes, or even cafe curtains would be a really good addition to making your space feel more country. But like, if I'm gonna choose any of the patterns on this list, I'm going toile every time. That's what I would choose. But I'm just giving you all of the different prints you could choose from, just in case one works for you better than the other. I don't know. Now we are moving on to the last category, which is the main decor items. So I'm not going to be going over every single decor item I have mentioned before in a past video. No, I'm only going to be talking about the main ones that I feel are transformative, and I'll explain why. So there are only 5 things on this list. The first thing on this list are topiary plants. The reason I put this on the list is because it is very reminiscent of French gardens. Normally when you go to gardens in France, the shrubs are cut into beautiful shapes, and this just reminds me of that. And because I've never personally seen these in anyone's home before, to me that feels transformative, because if I walked into someone's home today, I would 100% notice it right away. It's normally one of those plants that you would see like outside of the door. No, we want them inside. There's also someone that I follow here on YouTube. I love him. He actually has a home that is, I don't know if it's French countryside specifically, but it is very countryside vibes. And it is Nicholas Fairford, and he has these plants in his home, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. Just look at these photos. Oh, so gorgeous. I love his interiors. The next idea is wooden decals that go over entryways, door frames, or windows. This is such an easy one, and you can buy wooden decals online for an inexpensive price, or maybe you even have something laying around the house that might work out perfectly to just put over the door. And if you bought one and you don't like the color, you can always paint it, you can always stain it. These wooden decals are something I commonly see when I look up the French country interior design, and I don't know why that is, but it is a very unique thing because it's not something you see often. I never see it. I never see it. The next idea is by using an olive tree tablecloth. This is very specific, I know. If you don't end up getting that bistro table, which honestly you should, go for the olive tree tablecloth. So I actually saw this mentioned in someone else's video, and she said that when she goes to French markets, they always are selling these. So it would make sense that if you moved to the French countryside, that you might have a tablecloth like that in your home at some point prior to moving to the country. So I thought this was a really unique one to add to the list. The next thing on this list is by getting ornate mirrors or ornate frames for your current artwork hanging on the wall. Again, you just want to keep trying to add in those gold ornate items wherever you can in the home, because to me that is the clear distinction between farmhouse or making it to French country. So that's why I put a lot of emphasis on gold ornate items. And the last thing on my list, which is very transformative, because if it's something you currently have on your walls, you know it's transformative, and that's artwork. So in regards to French country artwork, you want to look for designs like this. The horse artwork looks very classy, and I feel it mixes in well with the I moved to the countryside from Paris vibe, but also if you were living in Paris, right, and you moved to the countryside, odds are you're going to collect a lot of different types of artwork, and it might be something that's like this or this, and you might bring that into your French country space. So man, it really just depends. If you are going to add artwork to your space, I would highly recommend adding a few of these things from this list to kind of pull everything together to make it feel a bit more cohesive in surrounding French country. So that is it for everything on my budget-friendly ideas list. Let me know what your favorite idea on this list was. I already know what mine would be. It would be the exposed wooden beams, which now that I said it out loud, I do think I'm going to do that in this room. I really don't know, but I want those beams so bad. I love them. Okay, Thanks so much for hanging out with me today while I talked about French country. And if you have any aesthetics you would like me to touch up on in a future video, please let me know what they are. Also, PS, can I say this? Can I promote myself really quick? I also started a new YouTube channel. It's just musical playlists. So if that is something that interests you, if you love aesthetic music, go check it out. Go check it out. I'll put the link right here. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.